What if I told you that nothing in your life is random? That every challenge you faced, every person you have ever loved, even the heartbreaks that brought you to your knees, were all part of a grand design, a design that you helped create. Now, imagine your soul, before this lifetime, standing in a realm beyond time, like a master architect reviewing a blueprint for the very life you are living right now. Why would you choose the struggles? Why would you script the pain? Because each experience, from the most blissful to the most painful, was a necessary lesson on your soul's journey. And what if understanding this divine blueprint is the key, not only to mastering the lessons of this life, but to finally stepping off the ancient wheel of life altogether? This concept, known as the cycle of reincarnation, is a foundational pillar in many of the world's most profound spiritual and hermetic traditions. It beautifully describes the soul's epic journey through multiple lifetimes, with each incarnation serving as a unique opportunity for growth, learning, and the resolution of ancient karmic imprints. This isn't a random process. It's part of a cosmic design for the evolution of consciousness itself. Traditions as diverse as Hermeticism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and even mystical Christianity all share key ideas about this journey. They emphasize that while our lives are influenced by the unchangeable law of karma, our free will remains sacred. Karma simply connects the soul to the specific lessons it needs to learn, while our free will preserves our power to choose how we respond, and whether we align with our highest spiritual goals. In these teachings, the physical world is seen as a grand, high-stakes training ground, a divine gymnasium for the soul. It is dense, dualistic, and filled with polarity, driven by a deep, inner call from the infinite. The soul enters this material realm to experience these contrasts firsthand: light and dark, pleasure and pain, connection and separation, the ultimate goal, to gradually transcend the illusions of the physical world and refine its own divine nature. At the heart of this journey are the twin pillars of free will and karma. Hermetic philosophy, for example, describes the soul as a powerful co-creator of its own reality. However, this creative power is always shaped by the karmic consequences of its actions in past lives. But it's crucial to understand that karma is not about punishment. It is about education. It is the perfect, impartial system that ensures the soul experiences the effects of its own actions, not for retribution, but for growth, balance, and understanding. The process of choosing an incarnation is a deeply collaborative and conscious one. Imagine your soul in the interlife, that luminous, peaceful realm between physical lives. Here, in a state of pure consciousness, the soul meets with its spiritual guides, ancient beings of light and wisdom. Together, they conduct the life review, examining past actions, assessing spiritual progress, and setting goals for the next chapter. While the guides offer profound wisdom, the soul itself ultimately decides its path, reflecting the sacred ideals of responsibility and sovereignty. You didn't just pick a life, you chose your curriculum. You chose your greatest loves, your most formative challenges, and even the people who would hurt you the most. because every single experience would teach your soul something it couldn't learn anywhere else. Before the soul ever enters the physical world, it exists in a state of pure, blissful unity, deeply connected to the source of all creation, what some call God. The divine, or the universal mind. In this timeless state, there is no separation, no limitation, no duality, yet, even in this perfect bliss, the soul feels an innate, divine desire to grow, to experience, and to understand itself more deeply. This sacred longing is what leads it to incarnate. The physical world, therefore, serves as the school, offering a curriculum of emotions, relationships, and challenges that are impossible to experience in the soul's original, non-physical state. Each soul designs a unique mission before it arrives, focusing on learning specific lessons like compassion, forgiveness, self-love, or courage. This mission is rarely tied to worldly achievements like fame or fortune, but to the spiritual growth that refines the soul, brings it closer to its divine essence, and contributes to the evolution of all consciousness. This pre-life planning is incredibly detailed. The soul carefully selects the circumstances that align with its purpose. This includes choosing physical traits, genetic factors, and even potential health challenges, not as random burdens, but as tailored tools for growth. It chooses a family to provide the foundational experiences, whether through support or through challenges designed to teach patience and resilience. It even identifies key individuals it will encounter, soulmates, mentors, and even adversaries, who will play crucial roles in its development. Upon incarnating, however, the soul faces a stark contrast to its original home. It experiences a profound sense of separation from its divine source, creating the illusion of duality and isolation. This can lead to a deep, often unconscious feeling of longing, a kind of homesickness for the divine that many sensitive people feel throughout their lives. But even here, the soul is not alone. Spiritual guides accompany it, offering subtle encouragement and wisdom through intuition, dreams, and moments of sudden clarity, always reminding it of its higher purpose. But this brings us to an even deeper set of questions. What happens after this life ends? How does your soul review its progress and decide where to go next? After the physical body dies, the soul transitions back to that interlife realm, a state of pure consciousness beyond the limitations of the material world. This realm is not about judgment, reward, or punishment. It is a celestial classroom for learning, growth, and planning. A key part of this phase is the life review. Here, the soul re-examines its previous life, but from a much broader, more compassionate perspective. It relives its actions, faults, and choices, but with one crucial difference: it fully experiences the emotional impact, both positive and negative, that its actions had on others. This process is profoundly educational, fostering a deep understanding of the consequences of its choices and highlighting the lessons that remain unfinished. This is where karma becomes crystal clear. Every action, thought, and emotion creates energetic ripples that eventually return to the soul, a soul that caused harm, for instance, might choose to experience a similar situation from the other side in its next life to develop empathy. This is also where soul contracts are reviewed and formed, sacred agreements made with other souls to play specific roles in the next life. You might agree to be born to a particular family to learn unconditional love, or to meet a specific romantic partner to explore trust and intimacy. Even difficult relationships are often pre-planned to foster forgiveness and resilience. These contracts are not rigid destinies, but flexible frameworks, always allowing for free will, and often, souls choose to incarnate together in soul groups, clusters of closely connected souls who travel through many lifetimes together, helping each other learn, grow, and evolve. So we travel through lifetimes with our soul tribe, playing different roles for each other in this grand cosmic play. This explains so much about the instant connections and the challenging dynamics we face. But this raises an even bigger question. How does this all end? Is the goal simply to keep returning, or is there an exit ramp from this cycle? And what are the specific steps a soul must take to finally graduate from this earthly school? We left off with the profound idea that we travel through lifetimes with our soul tribe, the familiar souls who play key roles in our cosmic drama. But this raises the ultimate question: what is the end game? Are we destined to repeat this cycle of learning forever, or is there a path to graduation from this earthly school? The answer is yes. There is a path to liberation. But first, to understand the exit, we must understand the final details of the entrance, the intricate design of each life we choose. These soul groups provide a constant network of support and growth, with members appearing as family, friends, mentors, and yes, even as adversaries, all depending on the lessons needed. Within these groups, some souls share even deeper connections. There are soulmates who often partner together across many lives to help each other fulfill a shared purpose. And the even rarer twin flames, believed to be two halves of the same original soul, on a profound journey back toward balance and unity. After the soul's life review is complete, it begins the creative and intentional process of designing its next incarnation. Think of your soul as a master sculptor, preparing for its next great work. First, it chooses the physical vessel, selecting the gender, appearance, and even potential health challenges, all perfectly tailored to support its mission. A soul seeking to learn empathy might choose a life with physical frailties. Then, it selects the family dynamic, the workshop where its earliest lessons will be forged. A nurturing family might be chosen to help a soul develop self-worth, while a challenging family could be a crucible for fostering resilience and strength. The soul also chooses the broader context, the culture, socioeconomic status, and historical period that will shape the unique challenges and opportunities it will face. Key life events and relationships are also woven into this blueprint. These are like major plot points in your story, meeting significant people, facing life-altering challenges, or achieving certain milestones, all pre-planned to guide your development. However, and this is crucial, the soul always retains its free will. Think of your pre-life plan not as a rigid script, but as a map with key destinations marked. Your free will is the vehicle. You can take detours, you can get lost for a while, but the map and your inner GPS, your intuition, are always there to guide you back toward the lessons you came here to learn. The universe itself is a conscious partner, continuously adjusting to offer you creative new ways to meet your spiritual goals. Once this divine plan is complete, the soul prepares for its return. This involves crossing a veil of forgetting, a sacred amnesia that separates the spiritual and physical realms. This isn't a flaw in the system, it's a feature. It ensures that the test of life feels real, that your choices are authentic, and that your love is earned, not simply remembered. Despite this forgetting, subtle reminders of your soul's purpose persist as gut feelings, vivid dreams, or a deep inner calling that guides you throughout your life. So, if each lifetime is a classroom, how does one finally graduate? Liberation, or freedom from the cycle of reincarnation, is not about escaping life, but about transcending the illusions and limitations of the material realm. It is the soul's ultimate homecoming, allowing it to exist in perfect harmony with its divine source, experiencing a state of unity, peace, and boundless creativity. This state, known across traditions as enlightenment, moksha, or ascension, is the culmination of the entire journey. It does not mean the soul loses its individuality. Rather, it becomes fully conscious of its divine nature, shedding the layers of illusion that create a full sense of separation. Achieving this liberation is a gradual process of spiritual awakening and mastery. It begins with cultivating self-awareness. The soul must learn to become the silent observer of its own mind, recognizing its patterns, desires, and fears without getting entangled in them. Practices like meditation and mindfulness are the tools for this inner work. Next, the journey requires healing and resolving karma. This is the sacred act of cutting the energetic cords that tie you to past grievances. By truly forgiving others, seeking forgiveness for yourself, and releasing all resentment, the soul frees itself from the magnetic pull of past lives that perpetuates the cycle. The third step is mastering detachment. Attachments to people, possessions, and specific outcomes are what tether the soul to the physical plane. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving or caring. It means you learn to surf the waves of life without needing any particular wave to make you happy. You can love deeply, work passionately, and appreciate life's beauty, all while remaining anchored in the ocean of peace within yourself. Finally, liberation requires a deep alignment with universal principles and the realization of oneness. This is the understanding that every action creates ripples, that all things are interconnected, and that love is the fundamental frequency of the universe. When the soul begins to live from this state of unity consciousness, the illusion of separation dissolves, and it experiences its true nature as part of an infinite, divine whole. As a soul nears this state of liberation, certain signs appear: a diminished attachment to worldly success or failure, a profound sense of inner peace regardless of external circumstances, and an unwavering, unconditional love and compassion for all beings. At this point, the soul has a choice. Some souls, their curriculum complete, choose to ascend to higher dimensions, to explore and create within more subtle realms of existence, merging back into the cosmic ocean of light. But others, filled with an immense and powerful compassion, choose to turn back at the gate. They choose to reincarnate one more time, not out of karmic necessity, but as enlightened guides or teachers to assist others who are still on their path. These beings, known as bodhisattvas or avatars, like the historical Buddha or Christ, serve as living reminders of our own potential. They are the lighthouses for those still navigating the storm. You are not a random leaf floating down the river of time. You are a courageous soul on a divine mission, a mission you designed yourself. The path to liberation is not about becoming someone else. It is the sacred journey of remembering who you have always been. Beneath it all, the map, the guides, and the destination are all waiting within you. The journey of remembering is the greatest adventure there is. If you feel the call to go deeper, to understand your own blueprint, and to explore these mysteries with us, hit that subscribe button and join our community of fellow travelers. Let's walk this path of awakening together.